Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant, getting set for a little lunch and a little bit of hangout with the crew. Great job to Mike, Shelley, and the gang. Make sure you get here for all of their awesome menu items. They've got an awesome buffet throughout the week. They have terrific all-you-can-eat boneless wings, steak, and spaghetti and meatball specials. They've also got a great array of beer on tap and in the bottle, and their chicken wings are incredible here, too, as well. They do have gift certificates available for the holidays. So make sure you get down here to the Phoenix Sports Restaurant for lunch, for dinner, right after work. Maybe just a quick brew and a burger with a pal. It's an awesome setting for a business meeting as well. And then you can, of course, bet next door and place some wagers on the ponies over at the OTB. As you can see behind me, all of those TVs are on every day, every week, every month of the entire year as we pedal towards the end of the year and then get ready for next year in getting our way into the Triple Crown season. So make sure you get down here to the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. All right, what I want to talk about in this video, and I've touched on this a little bit in a couple podcasts, and I've touched on it a little bit in some of the other live shows, is in sports, yes, there are so many variables, there are so many different layers to winning, and I understand that. But one thing that you have to look at for success is you have to be built up the middle, right, in pretty much every sport. If you look at hockey, look at all the successful hockey teams of the last several decades. They've all been built up the middle. Goalie, couple of two-way defensemen, couple of two-way centermen. It's just right up the middle. And you look at the Buffalo Sabres' recent success right now, winning 9 games in a row. Buffalo has good goaltending with Hutton and Ullmark. They've got two-way defensemen in Ristolainen and McCabe and Rasmus Dahlin. And then you've also got a situation in Jack Eichel as a two-way centerman, for example. So they're built up the middle. Look at the old Yankees dynasty from 1996 to 2003. Catcher, Jorge Posada. Girardi, of course, groomed him before that. Then you go up the middle, pitchers, loads of them, plus the best bullpen in baseball with the best closer of all time, the Mariano Rivera, and then Bernie Williams right up the chute in center field. Same type thing has worked in the NBA. Now, here's the difference with the NBA. When you're built up the middle in the NBA now, it doesn't include the big guy, right? So it's almost like an interchangeable parts in the middle, which can then produce more versatility, can produce more screens, can produce more off-the-ball antics and wide-open three-pointers and all the rest. That's more about what the NBA is right now. And then if you look at the NFL, I mean, built right up the middle. I mean, look at the offensive side of the football, the center position with linemen. That's the middle. Then you look at the guy behind it, the most important position arguably in all of sports, the quarterback position in the National Football League. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben, Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning. Look at all Bart Starr, Otto Graham, all the rest. Terry Bradshaw, Staubach, Fouts, Kelly, Marino, Aikman, Tarkenton. The quarterback is enormous, of course, and that's the middle, right? And then if you go to the defensive side of it, what do you need these days besides a quarterback? Arguably the next most important position in the NFL is a pass rusher, or at least an interior lineman to get to the quarterback. Look at the LA Rams right now. Most people, including me, think that they need another edge rusher. Most people, including me, think that the secondary over-pursues. Okay, but what happens on the inside? Aaron Donald makes up for a lot of that. That's built right up the middle. And then you look at safeties. You look at a good corner, maybe on the outside could play a little bit in, maybe an interchangeable secondary guy. You're built up the middle. College basketball, same type thing in terms of being built up the middle. There is a little bit more of the center position, I think, in college basketball than there is the NBA. But, you got to be built up the middle with those 6'8" forwards who now patrol a lot of that lane with the mid-range area, the inside-outside game, and then order to spread to the wings, of course. I mean, you've got to be built up the middle always in professional sports. If you look at, in all of sports, if you look at the successful teams of the last several decades, it doesn't matter what team you pick out, it doesn't matter what personnel you pick out, it doesn't matter what decade, time frame you pick out, etc. If you pick that team out, if you pick that era out, a common denominator, I guarantee it, will be that they were built strong up the middle. Look, for example, last 7 or 8 years, 10 years, at the Pittsburgh Penguins dynasty, at the Chicago Blackhawks dynasty, at the LA Kings winning a couple of Stanley Cups. All of those teams had two-way centermen, had goaltending, and had two-way defensemen. They were all built up the middle. Baseball teams of the past, right up straight through the middle. Look at the old Yankees dynasty teams of the 50s and 60s. Mickey Mantle in center field, a host of unbelievable pitchers led by Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra behind the catcher's plate. Those are just some examples of what it is like to be built up the middle. And frankly, until the NBA changed with, a lot more bobbing and weaving, passing, cutting, three-point shots, and all the rest, the outside in as opposed to inside out, the middle was a big deal for the likes of the Celtics. I mean, I'm reading a book right now by Gary Pomerantz called The Last Pass, and it's on the relationship between Bob Cousy and Bill Russell, and how Cousy wished that he had understood more of the race relations with Russell and concerned with him living in the racist city of Boston. But the reality is, think about that for a second. Built straight up the middle. Bill Russell, your center. That's where it starts. And you go up, and then you go up again, and you find Bob Cousy as the point guard. You had Havlicek as a forward. They were built up the middle. Same thing with the old Warriors and Lakers teams and all the rest with Wilt Chamberlain. Same type thing with the Chicago Bulls. They were built straight up the middle with the triangle offense in terms of making that thing work. And then everybody else was basically an artist at work, the likes of Michael Jordan, the likes of Scottie Pippen. Eventually they got Dennis Rodman in that second three-peat. So all sports teams that have success, they're built up the middle. Look at the SEC. That's another example here as I wrap up. Look at the SEC. What do you look at first with the SEC? I look at the front line. I know a lot of folks want to talk about past players in the SEC, the success of a Cam Newton, a Tim Tebow, Julio Jones, all these monster players in the Southeastern Conference. To me, all those things are true. Defenses are unbelievable, 4- and 5-star guys, speed, size, quickness, athleticism, etc. Great, I get it. But where does it start? It starts in the trenches. They're built right there, and their teams are so much better than you up front. And that's where LSU was great under Saban. That's where Alabama's great now under Saban. It has been for about 10, 11 years. And you look at that, they're built straight up the middle. Look at Alabama right now. They're built straight up the middle with those couple of interior offensive linemen with the center, Tua Tagovailoa, who I think is the Heisman Trophy winner, Tua Tagovailoa. He's been unbelievable. He's the quarterback right behind. And then you go to the defense, and they're built the same exact way. Interior defense, great linebackers who are versatile. And then on the back end with the safeties in the secondary, they're built straight up the middle. Every single team in sports that has success, hockey, football, basketball, baseball, they're all built up the middle of the respective sport and the landscape. It's an absolute fact. I'm Mike Lindsley here, IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. It's 9 Minutes with me. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Mike L Sports and on Snapchat and Instagram, Mike L Sports 1979. You can also visit pinstripepassion.com for my off-season Yankees and baseball commentary, a bunch of interviews from the summer at Cooperstown with Hall of Famers and Yankee greats. And be sure to download my podcast, the ML Sports Platter, via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Another quick reminder here, I'm doing this video from the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. You can come here all day long, any day of the week. You come and get the buffet. You grab your betting card. You go over and place some bets. You can come here for dinner, grab their burgers, grab their wings. The all-you-can-eat specials are terrific as well. Boneless wings, spaghetti and meatballs, and, of course, steak. And they've got some awesome beers on tap as well in the bottle or on tap. And you can stop by after work one day, beer and a burger. You can come here for your business lunch as well. A nice casual setting and a great staff led by Mike Lattimore Jr. and Shelly and the gang. So thanks to them for being a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. This has been 9 Minutes with me, Mike Lindsley, IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.